Hello everyone. Let's join again for another small understanding. There is an often belief, rather, a kind of a misconception, rather, that the outer self, the way you behave and interact with your life situations, or work life situations, and the inner self, which you call the spiritual self, which is always looking inwards, are two different things. Now, this is not possible because it's the two facets or two dimensions of the same coin. If you are in harmony with the inner balance, you will also find harmony with the outer balance. So, why I'm saying that is because you cannot expect the turbulency inwards and things to get sorted out outwards. The physical dimensions are of one, the physical dimension and the spiritual dimension, the outer dimension, the way you react to the world or you respond to the world and the life situations. When I say to the world, your 24 into 7 life situations, from brushing your teeth to managing your relationships, to managing your work, to manage your finances, to manage any work life situation or life situation, is actually a product or a replication of the inner silence that you're holding. The point is, if your inner is disturbed, the outer will get disturbed. There is no second doubts about it. You can't control the situation, but it's up to you to react or respond to the situation. And it's never the outway inside, it has to be inside that's leading towards the outside. So if the outer things you think will improve and the inner will improve correspondingly, that won't happen. On the contrary, is the opposite. If you get the inner wisdom, if you get the inner silence, if you keep on observing your thoughts and emotions instead of being entangled with them, your outer world will certainly improve as a product of it. So what you eat, how much you drink, how much liquor or other alcohol consumption you do, how many people you go bed with, these things have nothing to do with the spiritual life. If you are a vegetarian, good, but just because of that you are a vegetarian, you will become spiritual, that won't happen. Yes, we all, if you see around people around you across the world, they all need a couple of things which are similar. We all need some sensual pleasures. That means we need to have our hunger satisfied, having some food which is up to your taste, some legitimate sleep, other sensual pleasures like being love, care and affections, and of course having sex. These are all sensual pleasures, and you can only strike a balance to these pleasures rather than being subdued with it till the time your inner balance is in control. So otherwise, with the sensual pleasures, you will either do an overkill of it, an overdrive of it, which will result into impulsiveness, and or you'll try to abstain yourself from it, which is again not going to create balance in your life. Apart from that, you have social psychological needs, like you need to have some kind of a so-called socio-economic status, that you need some money to run your life, which is comfortable for you, some basic comforts. Everybody in the world across, we all aspire for that, and that's but natural and quite normal to happen. But then you can only strike a balance and get them the way it is, which would suit your present requirement, when you have an internal balance fixed up. The point is, we are all what you're looking it from a purview that you will get it outside. By the way, the key to get all that is also inside. You land up to different cults, different lines of thought, different theories of thought, different monuments like churches, temples and mosques. That's all okay. It's totally up to you. It's your call. But then this won't lead you to spirituality. It's just a practice that you're doing it. Then it's good. Continue to do that if it suits you, if you feel good about it. But the point is, the inner dimension is completely inside you. You need not to go anywhere. You need not approach anybody. If you approach anybody for this awareness, the fact that what you're looking inside you think is existing outside, and you're approaching that X person as if you don't have it. The moment you start looking inwards, things gets better outside. Try doing that. And when I'm saying looking inwards, is to observe your thoughts and emotions and be in the present moment. The thoughts comes and goes, but you're not being entangled with that. You can just lead a normal life the way it is. Situations come up. But this interconnectedness of the outer world and the inner world is existing. You just cannot say my inner world, my inner self is different from the outer self. That is not possible because there are two different dimensions of the same coin. One is a physical dimension, another is a spiritual dimension. But its spiritual dimension would rather lead towards the physical dimensions when you look at things improving in your life. It cannot be the other way around. You cannot say when I have a decent bank balance, when I have a good house, when I have a good nurturing relationship, when I have a secure job, when I have a secure business, my inner dimension will become peaceful. It will not happen. If you're taking that approach, on the contrary, it will become detrimental. But if you're taking the inside approach, the outside will fall in its shape and peace with the time, circumstances, context. This is called synchrodestiny, but the synchrodestiny will only happen if you start working inside. It won't happen if you start work outside. It's just going to be a waste of your time and effort. You can see so many examples in nature. You can see the honeybees are connected with flower. It's interconnectedness. So likewise, there's so many things which are interconnected. Similarly, your physical dimension and the spiritual dimension, the inner self and the outer self are interconnected. And what is leading is the inner is leading to the out. It can never happen as a universal law that the out would lead in. Had that been the case, the wealthiest of the people won't commit suicide or land up into so-called antisocial behavior. Now, once you work in inside, then there is no emotional arousal or turmoil, aggression, or those spurts of anger, shouting, doing all kinds of things. Because you're so complete inside, the outer is falling in place all by itself. Life is minimally effort. On the contrary, it's effortless. But that doesn't mean you just sit on the couch and change the TV channels. That means you allow things to happen. And you become the medium through which the universe is manifesting in this world. So by that, I would like to conclude that the inner self and the outer self are two dimensions of the same coin, which is the self. And they are interconnected. Until such time you feel they are different, you doing nothing but rather fooling your own self. Sense this. Work on the inner self. And one last thing, when I say work on the inner self, many people say about meditation. Now, meditation is not sitting into a posture. Now, meditation is when we step out of the self-talk or the commentary or the narrative that goes into your mind, that thought chatter that goes into your mind. When you step out of that and you just observe that as a process, and you know it's not you, you are just the observer. That's where the meditation is. Okay, so this interconnectedness is the key. Work on the inner self, the outer will change all by itself. Thank you and enjoy your weekend. Thank you.